I'm with Sam Lally, and we're talking about disability and accessibility in Jersey.
Yeah.
And it's a new year. What does the new year hold for you, Sam?
Hopefully I'm thinking about moving back to Jersey. I'm at the moment in the UK, living in the UK, but it's not very good up there, so I'm hoping to move back.
That's very good. Do you know where you're going to go, or are you still looking at possibilities?
I'm still looking at possibilities.
What would you really like to be moving back to? What sort of accommodation would you like?
Accommodation like a flat environment with people without.
Would you want other people there, or do you want to be on your own?
I don't mind sharing with other people. I'm very ongoing person. I don't mind mixing with other people if need be.
You can look after yourself, you can cook for yourself, you
Yeah.
can shop.
Yeah.
Because obviously people can't see on this picture, but you sit in a wheelchair, you use a wheelchair all the time.
Yeah. It's usually my legs to get around places.
Right.
Yeah.
You've lived with that all your life,
Yes.
from
birth.
From birth, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to discuss the details too much, but you were damaged at birth, and that was one of the presumably
No oxygen to the brain.
right, and that happened in Jersey, in the Jersey hospital.
Yes.
So it would presumably somebody got blamed at the time for what happened, or
Yes.
did. But that's how you're now 24, so that's 24 years ago.
Yeah.
You're old enough to work. Do you work?
23.
23.
Actually.
Do you work? Do you?
I used to. I used to work for B&Q up at by Montalavo.
Right.
Yeah, I used to work there.
Is
when I
that?
was living in Jersey.
Can you support yourself being a wheelchair user in Jersey? How difficult is it to make a living to support yourself?
Very difficult because the wheelchair access to get in places is not very good. It's getting better, but at the moment it isn't very good to get to places. If you go to buildings, you probably have to go up the flight of stairs, can't do, and things like that. You would have to phone them to come down the stairs.
That obviously restricts the potential for getting jobs.
Yeah.
If obviously you can't go for a job where there's any steps and there's no lift.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, socially, does it create much of a problem if you want to go out? Is it?
Sometimes it does, because there's only a certain amount of taxi firms or bus services who you can go on transport with, places like that.
Can your current wheelchair go on a bus? Have you ever tried that?
Yes.
It does fit on a bus?
Yes, it does go on Connex's bus.
And do you ever use them?
Not at the moment, because I'm not living here all of the time, and I'm not going out. I usually drive places in the wheelchair anyway.
Is it more expensive being a wheelchair user, do you think? Does it have cost implications?
Yeah. If you're not set up on schemes, it will be difficult for people in wheelchairs to go places. Taxi like that will cost arm and leg. Yeah.
Are there particular taxi companies that you have to use, or is it any taxi?
No, it's particular. Luxy Cabs is one. Andy Tag's another. And you just have to find the taxi company with wheelchair accessible cabs.
But obviously for a person who's not a wheelchair user, they can just walk somewhere or catch a bus, go on their bicycle. All those possibilities aren't available to you.
No.
So it'll cost you £10, £20.
£20, £15.
Every time you go out.
Yeah.
Now your wheelchair you've got is a motorised wheelchair, electric wheelchair.
It's out indoor and outdoor wheelchair.
Right. What's the range of that? People who've never used a wheelchair, what range would that take? How many miles?
You can go up to Sombrella, you can go into town and back, things like that.
And if it packs up, what do you do then?
You have to keep your mobile handy or
Right.
know somebody who would come and get you and things like that.
Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah, but that's when the batteries haven't been on their best.
Who supplies your wheelchair? Who looks after it for you?
Wheelchair centre up at Overdale.
Right. And is that a good service?
Yes, it is.
Generally speaking, do you think the system here is good for people with disabilities?
For disabilities to get in places, not so much. But for servicing there, it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Because they try their level best to do things, and if they can't do it, they will always tell you. Some people won't tell you.
From the housing point of view, obviously most houses in Jersey are not accessible to wheelchairs.
No.
So that limits the number of places you can go and visit.
Or go and live. You have to, talking about the housing situation, you always have to look at places what are like flats. You have to have ground floor, or they have to have a lift in the building itself. Yeah.
So does that tend to be, from your point of view, a state's building or a trust owned?
State's building or trust owned building, things like that. State's building mostly, or trust.
You're looking for something now, you're looking to change your circumstance because
Yes.
you've moved back from the UK.
I've got some possibilities in mind. Lesame's one. Highlands College accommodation home is another. And then if that doesn't work out, it's going to be finding a flat and having living carers.
Right. And how would you finance that? Would that something the states pay for, or do you have to pay for?
The state would have to pay for it at some point in my life, but not at the moment.
Right. When you were damaged at birth, you, as I understand it, you were awarded some damages, or your family was awarded some damages. That's in a trust
set
fund.
Me up for life. It's
Right.
set up in a trust fund, but that's running out rapidly.
Do you know what will happen when that does run out? Do you know?
It will be up to the states to provide the cost and the care for the rest of my life. It would be up to Jersey states to provide that. Now.
Do you think that's an adequate arrangement? Do you think?
Yes, it is. Because it's up to them at the end of the day. Because we wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't their negligence at the end of the day. It's for anybody in a wheelchair, basically. We wouldn't be the way we were if these things didn't happen.
We're at the beginning of another year. Everybody's making New Year resolutions.
Hopefully everything will be different this year and everything will be getting back to some normality. Yeah.
Do you take part? Do you interested in campaigning for any political issues or disability issues?
Yes, I do really like to take part in that, but at the moment, because I'm living in the UK, I'm out of touch with all that, but I would like to get back involved.
For some reason, people with disabilities don't seem to complain as much as they're could
scared.
do. Why do you think that is?
They're scared and they don't know who to complain to, and if they know if they're going to be heard, they don't know if they're going to be heard very rightly or very costly.
course, some places have a special minister for disabilities. They have
Yeah.
somebody who's actually required. I think even Guernsey's got somebody who's required to champion disabled issues.
Yeah,
Doesn't happen in Jersey. Why is that, do you think?
because the minister who's supposed to take notice of all this, they just brush it under the carpet and look at it another time. But I don't think that's right on my side of it. For anybody in a wheelchair or whoever's got disability needs, they shouldn't be brushed aside and forgotten about.
Of course, this is an election year. You could stand for election
Yeah.
and be a states member. How would that appeal to you?
Well, it would be very appealing, but if we got involved with it, it would be loads of campaigning, loads of elections and things like that. I would be up for it. I would be.
So if we come back next year, we might be dealing with a states member?
Yeah. Might be. Might be.
Okay.
But I have to wait till I move back in Jersey till I see, and then I can get involved with all that and get elected and things like that.
If not, we'll have to find a states member who will champion the cause.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be a project for 2012.
Yeah. It would be. Very good project. And we're campaigning for other people to get involved with the project. Because we can't do it on our own. We would need other people to get involved.
Thank you much indeed.
Okay?